We're getting to see you here in Walker Independence. Was there something about the project or maybe even Kai himself, the character, that made you want to be a part of the series?
Um, I think before jumping into this project, I definitely had I was definitely a little bit scared because of the responsibility, you know, the representation of like Asian characters in Westerns aren't um they're just very unlikely. So to take this project on was something that was a little bit daunting at first, but then um, after talking to the creators and getting to know all the people behind the project, I just got really excited to be able to flesh out this kind of story, especially the story with Kai's uh, Kai's backstory and where it leads to throughout the first season.
Yeah, I mean, watching series like Hell on Wheels, it's mostly you see Asian Americans at that time working on the railroad in that Western time period. Did they give you a bit of backstory about Asians in America during that time, or did you do your own research?
Yeah, I just sort of did my own research. I looked into, the workforce amongst all the workers that built the railroads in America. 90% of them were Chinese, and I just worked on how hard it was for people back in the day to work on the railroads. How much effort it took and how much hard work it took and just to be Asian American at that time to just be able to survive. You got to be good at everything, and you had to excel in different areas in order to just preserve yourself at that time.
Was there something then that you added to Kai that maybe wasn't in that initial breakdown for him?
The initial breakdown was definitely different than who Kai is now. Luckily, such um, we have such a good showrunner and show creator. Everyone is just so collaborative. Seamus is just so open to all of our ideas. So I was able to throw in a few ideas of my own, and together we came up like with a cool backstory for Kai, something that will propel him throughout the first season.
Is it something you're keeping under wraps as far as that backstory for now until the show maybe premieres and we see a little bit of it fleshed out?
Yeah, I mean, we yeah, I think it'll be better for audience members to get that slow burn and gradually find things out about Kai, as well as all the other characters in Independence. Everyone has like a backstory. Everyone is so multifaceted and layered, and I think what's more fun for audience members is for them to discover these things about these people as the series progresses. You know, yeah, we don't want to just like explore everything right off the bat. So once things are unveiled, it'll get interesting. The audience will they're in for a treat for sure.
Well, the Mandarin you speak in the series is very impressive. Is it something you had in your back pocket or something they had you training for? Because I know you didn't get to go to cowboy camp, so maybe they sent you to Mandarin school instead.
Mandarin school. That would be hilarious. Um, I grew up speaking Mandarin to both my parents, so yeah, luckily I could speak. Obviously there are some words that are a little bit more challenging, and um, there, yeah, down the line there will be more episodes where I do get to speak more Mandarin, um, and finally they did let me go to cowboy camp, but unfortunately I was just at cowboy camp by myself. Everyone else got to do it like early on together, And so I think I had like just, a couple days by myself
So we'll eventually see
on the
Kai on a
ranch.
horse at this point. I mean, Kai to come on a horse, possibly.
I mean, cowboy camp doesn't necessarily mean like horse camp or anything. So, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see.
That's intriguing. Maybe it's a little they teach you gunslinging there and other activities.
Who
Well,
knows?
arrow
I
shooting. We'll
can't.
find out.
Yeah, maybe arrow shooting. Who knows?
It was the Wild Wild West. You'll never know. Well, we won't
Yeah,
know
that's
until we
true.
find the series premiere here coming up
Yeah,
shortly.
yeah.
Were you hoping to share some scenes with someone in particular? I mean, I'm sure you guys sort of had to have an instant bond when you initially became filming because you were moved to New Mexico to start shooting all together. Once you got to know each other, were you excited to start sharing some scenes with everyone, or was there someone you were excited to um, notice in scripts that you were getting more scenes with?
It's definitely with everybody. What makes this series so intriguing are the relationships. And so once the as the series progresses and more of the characters start to intermingle and their backstories come together and things get a little bit more messy, I think that's when things get more exciting. And so it's always fascinating to finally have a scene with somebody over a period of time where you don't. You can walk around the town, you can acknowledge somebody, you can actually like from each episode you can tell like, oh, they know each other, but we haven't seen any scenes yet. And so letting those relationships slowly burn into audience members' minds and to have those relationships finally come alive on screen down the line, I think is really exciting. And so like for me, like personally, I just want to have like it'd be cool just to have scenes with everybody, just to slowly connect into the town and yeah, to share our vulnerabilities with each other.
All right. Well, we're hoping maybe that progresses towards the latter end of the season, since I
Yeah.
think you guys are still busy filming as we speak, some remaining episodes to come. From what you've shot so far, are there some episodes that really hold a special place in your heart already, or maybe challenged you a lot as an actor?
Oh yeah, definitely. Um there have been a couple that have been pretty challenging. And I just don't want to give anything away, but there's going to be a lot of things that are revealed, and there's a lot from Kai's previous life that comes to light, and getting to explore that and allowing the audience to get to see that too um, will be really interesting.
Well, as a delayed follow up, what did your parents think of you getting to speak Mandarin on screen?
I guess that's something that's really cool too, because most of the time, whenever I'm doing something, I'm speaking English, and sometimes my parents, they can understand what's going on, but it takes like a couple watches before they can fully, I guess, comprehend and understand what's going on, especially in the story. And so just to speak Mandarin, um, and for them to be like, "Oh man, I understand what you're saying," it's like I
In
didn't
that
realize that.
moment, too.
Yeah, I didn't realize it would be such a strong feeling. Like my uncle, he texted me. He's like, "Oh, I saw your show. Like good job." And like it's just it's cool when you can have that effect on people that are
Means
close
so
to you
much
and
to
your
you.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually like people can enjoy westerns and they can watch westerns. They can be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But then to see like I don't know, a Chinese character speak Mandarin, um I think I think that's pretty powerful.
Well, what does it mean to you to be a part of a series that's garnered already so much great buzz and to be a lead in that series?
Um it's just so much fun. I'm just always so grateful to be able to do this. especially in this day and age where like you can converse with fans. They can watch a show and they can like tweet at you. You know, there's like direct dialogue about like story, you know, and I love storytelling and I love telling stories, and just to be like a machine or be a part of that and be an instrument in this machine to do that, you know, to share empathy with people and to entertain people, you know, it's like I just feel very grateful. And I know that, you know, things never last. So I'm just trying to enjoy this moment in time, you know, and just to make this experience the best experience possible. And it's really easy to do that because the cast is just so amazing and everyone is just so down to earth and humble and everyone cares about their art, even all the creators. And so I think that energy amongst all of us is, you know, we're going to continue to try to make the best product that we can.
Does it take you slipping into costume to really feel yourself embodying Kai, or at this point you feel like you're so trained and well versed at going in and out of character that, they say action and you're Kai?
Um, I mean, all it is just like a thought before you go into a scene, you know. Um, just any kind of thought that pops in your head that can get me there. But obviously, like costumes, they help tremendously, you know. And then just and being on set helps tremendously too. Like the production design on this is just it's extraordinary. And so like once we step on set in our costumes, it's just this is my life for this amount of time, you know. It's a lot of fun.
What do you think it is about Walker Independence that's really going to make it a quick fan favorite series?
Um, I think it's just the exploration of all these characters, the exploration of how vulnerable people can be, and how courageous it takes for people to start a new life somewhere. The courage it takes to let go of the past and to be in the present. I think seeing these characters come together to explore that with these backstories like intertwining, um, and you know the twists and turns of the season. It's more than just about Abby going to town to avenge the death of her husband. You know, there's so many more deeper layers, and I think as we explore that throughout each episode, um, I think that's the thing that's gonna keep audience members intrigued.
You mentioned being a part of social media. Why is it such an important way for you to connect with viewers and people who follow the work you do?
Um, you know, I think it's you can tell when it's important to people, you know, and you know, it's easy to just be like, ah, whatever, and then keep that separate. But when people actually hit you up and they want to know about your character, or they hit you up and they tell you like something is they tell you something excites them about something, or something about story, you know, it's like it's just it's just an amazing way to connect with it with audience members, you know. It's sort of like it's similar to like when you're doing theater, but when you're doing theater, like there's like that back and forth connection, you know, and it's so alive, you know, when you're doing it. It's like you're learning stuff from audience members at the same time. After you're done with the show, you go out, people are like, oh, I want to talk to you about this, you know, you get that instant gratification and you get that like back and forth energy about the story, about storytelling. And so I feel like you know, the social media sort of helps in that kind of aspect, you know. And yeah, facilitates that conversation.
What kind of responses then have you already been receiving to this show? Has it resonated with a lot of people and you're receiving some really interesting tales from people who connect with it, or people who really find it fascinating the work that everyone's been doing on the show?
I mean, I think we're getting a lot of positive feedback, but so far, people have only seen one episode, right? So they don't really have much to go off of. And so most of the time it's just like, oh my gosh, this is such a good pilot, or like people are excited that there's like an Asian character in here. You know, they're excited that there's a character speaking Mandarin, and so that's cool. You know, and just to get that feedback from other people, to know that that it's actually making them feel these things, it makes my work feel more worthwhile too at the same time. You know.
I'm sure you have so much going on here while you're filming Walker Independence, but have there been some other projects you've worked on maybe recently or during the pandemic that are just finding their way to light in the near future?
I shot this indie film. Man, I don't even know if it was last year or 2 years ago now. But we're submitting it to festivals, and just crossing our fingers that it gets into a good one. But yeah, it's a pretty sweet movie. Um, it's about a father and a daughter trying to connect, but it's also got this kind of sci-fi twist to it. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for I wrote a project with a buddy of mine. We got it funded, and so we're going to shoot a feature at the beginning of next year, hopefully.
Lots going on. And like I said, there's such great buzz about this series. What would you like to say to everyone who are fans and supporters of the work, whether it's on Walker Independence or the projects you've already been a part of?
I mean, to all the fans and people that have been with me on this journey this whole time, like I I just like I'm just so grateful, and I appreciate all the words of encouragement. Sometimes it's not that, as actors we need anything from it. We already get so much by diving into the story and telling these stories. But when people give feedback, and they let us know that, oh, it's affected our lives in this kind of way. Um, I can totally relate to characters like that. It pushes us, and it pushes me to become an even better actor, to be a better storyteller. And
I'm
it
sure.
just and it just yeah, it's just I just get really excited to do more work. Um, yeah, to dive deeper into my craft.